You've been playing great for the last 3 to 4 weeks, but you had to take like a 2 to 3 week break because you had to go on a vacation or you just were too busy to play. And now you came back, and after a break, you're trying to play the same way as before, and you don't feel like you've changed anything, but you just can't get your ground stroke to feel the same way as you did before. Have you ever had that problem? I think players go through it all the time. I had to go through it, and today I'm gonna show you and tell you how to get your feel back much faster than trying to think about the past, thinking that, oh, like I was playing great, why did I have to take a break? I'm gonna tell you exactly what you have to do. Your feel could betray you. Let's start with that. My feel has betrayed me many, many times, okay? Until you get to a certain point and you play thousands and thousands and hundreds and thousands of millions of hours. I don't know if it's millions, but 100,000s of hours, you just can't lose it anymore. But the thing is, people who are watching this, like 90% of you might not come to that level. So how do you get your feel back faster on your ground strokes when you've taken a break? A lot of times, let's start with this, the relativity of time. When you're playing well, you feel like the contact and the impact of the ball on the strings feels very short. Like it feels good because you could pop it. It feels really good and it feels like a really short second, even less, but the impact actually feels like it's happening at a very short amount of time. But the thing is, when you take a break and then you try to replicate the same feel and you're thinking to yourself, okay, the impact was very short and I have to swing through as fast as I can, or I have to go through the ball, accelerate on the swing, but it just doesn't work. So why does it not work? When you take a break and you lose that feel because you're not going through the ball enough and the ball is not staying on the strings long enough. Even if you feel like I'm doing the same thing, the feel could be it could betray you. So make sure when you come back from a break, try to keep the ball on the strings and go through the ball all the way. I know many of you in the States, the word pushing is like a bad term and it's like a taboo to use that term. But it really, like when you're first coming back onto the court and you're trying to like warm up for the first 15, 20 minutes, as a pro player, like when I was playing in the top junior level, like when I was top 3 in the nation, 14s and 18s, I was coming back and it felt literally, I know the coaches said, don't push the ball. But when I came back, I had to like go through it. But going through it didn't really do it for me. I actually literally tried to push all the way. And I'll go all the way through, but it was more like a push rather than like a accelerate. I was trying to feel the ball on the strings a lot more and keeping it on the strings a lot longer than when I was actually playing before the break. Like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You know, everybody gets injured and when they come back, it just feels horrible. And I've had so many injuries where I had to take like 2 to 3 weeks off and even longer because I had like knee surgeries. I had 2 rotator cuff tears, labrum tear. Like, I mean, I was just like a walking zombie. Like I had so many injuries. Anyways, but coming back from an injury, it's the same thing as taking a break. Sometimes you feel better, but a lot of times, maybe like 80 to 90% of the time, you felt horrible like after a break. So like a lot of times I came back learning like, oh, like, because I did it so many times, it just felt like, okay, I have to slow it down first. I have to slow it down, not accelerate so fast and go through the ball fast. I have to slow my racket speed down, firm up my wrist actually, not loose. Because if you're loose, the ball is going to go everywhere and you're not going to feel the contact. So I had to firm it up, go slower and go through and feel like I'm pushing all the way through rather than going very short. I'll show you, I mean, it's just a relative term. So like, I can't really show you, but I'll show you anyways. There might be things that you're missing. Let's say, for example, you're closing the racket face too much on the contact, which means that if you close it and go slow, you're just going to dump it into the net. So you probably, if you're closing the racket face too much, you do need to open it and go through it all the way. Even if you're not trying to get topspin, you got to feel the ball first to be able to do anything to the ball. So it's okay. Try to slow it down, firm up the wrist, and go all the way through. Now, when you're playing well, everything happens so fast and feels like you're just going, it doesn't feel like anything. But the thing is, when you take a break and you do that, a lot of times that's what happens. Like, you do that, like, you're not contacting the ball clean, or like you're not staying on the strings long enough. The ball's not staying on the strings long enough to be able to feel the ball. So slow it down, firm up your wrist. Don't lose. Like if you're loose, it's just gonna go everywhere. So just firm it up a little bit than before and try to go through and push the ball long rather than trying to accelerate fast. A lot of times it just doesn't go anywhere. Like when you take a break, it just doesn't go anywhere. All you're doing is like adding spin. So again, open up your racket face slightly. If you're dumping it into the net by accelerating, open up the racket face on the contact and try to hit through and literally like try to push the ball rather than trying to accelerate. And you shank, go short. Again, like it does everything that you don't want it to do. One thing that you have to do while you're doing this is when you're slowing down your racket and firming up, a lot of times your legs are slowing down too. Try to go, let's say 1 is the slowest and 10 is the fastest. Try to go about 5 to 6 with the feet, and with the hand and the racket and the swing, try to go 3. Try to go 3 and try to hit deep. That's how you get the feel back. You got to go slow, but go all the way through to be able to hit the baseline. Once you could feel the ball, once you could feel the swing, then start accelerating, going a little bit faster into it. And this happens to like everybody. So I think until you get to a certain point where you played so much that you know how to get it back super fast and you know what to change, it's just really tough. It's really difficult to accept the fact that I was playing so well. And now my forehand is gone, and then like I have to rebuild the feel. I have to play like 2-3 weeks just to get to where I was before. And speeding things up is not going to help you. You have to actually slow it down. You have to know how to slow it down to be able to go back fast. It's kind of weird because like that's the shortcut way. You have to slow it down to get it back faster rather than go faster to get it faster. So it's just very mentally, you just get shot. But try it at home when you get a chance, when you take a break, when you come back, slow things down. Don't slow down your feet though. Firm up your wrist, slow it down, go through the ball all the way, and almost to a point where like, oh, I'm pushing. And the thing is like in your mind, pushing is bad, so you don't want to push. That's the way you get things back because you're going all the way through. And don't think pushing is bad. You're just doing it to get your feel back. Again, go with what feels good and not what you felt before. Same thing that you're trying to do before. So try to go through the ball and push. I don't want to repeat it again. I'm just emphasizing it because I had a tough time coming back. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.